athletes to qualify for the prestigious IAAF World Athletics Final in Stuttgart. The taxing conditions didn't seem to bother Mozambique's top runner Maria Matola, who in the 800 metres, amongst others, was up against Hasna Benhassi of Morocco. It could be considered as a rematch of their clash in Madrid, when 34-year-old Matola got the better of her Moroccan opponent. The race also saw another sub-2 minuter this season, Australia's Tamsyn Lewis, take to the field.
Off they go. And look at her, as usual. She gets away to a flyer. She likes to sit at the front and really break the field, take the field apart through by control, domination. She'll set the just in behind the pacemaker. Akigbe from Nigeria. There she is. And there's Matola. Look at it. Pace already. Tamsyn Lewis, the long striding Australian. She's decided to try and hang in there behind Matola. She's putting a bit of pressure. Here she comes. Maria Matola, though, she's got this one all wrapped up. No doubt about that. Tamsyn Lewis, can she hang on to silver? Let's have a look. Benhassi coming. Lewis, Benhassi. Oh, the Moroccan snuck past just in the last seconds. Maria Matola, ever green, ever happy, wrapped with that one.
By the 600 metre mark, Matola hadn't been able to build a clear lead over Lewis, but the Australian faded in the home straight to leave Matola unchallenged and winning in 1 minute 58.21, a season's best and a world-leading performance by 1/10 of a second. The battle to claim second was intense as Benhassi, using her come-from-behind tactique, edged Lewis over the finish line, both achieving season's best in 1:59.31 and 1:59.37 respectively. The 38-year-old was a clear favourite in the 400-metre hurdles and was looking for another sub-55 second performance.
55.58, the meeting record. See if Glover can get around that one. Almost 100 to go. Glover cruising through. Darden as well. And on the inside, we've got lane 2. Glover, all on her lone sub. She's good. 7 or 8 metres in front. Sandra Glover, how does she do it? She continues to impress.
No joy for Glover time-wise, but however a comfortable win for the very experienced hurdler in 56.16, way ahead of her two main opponents, Anastasia Rabchanek of Russia and Ukraine's Julia Mulyakova in second and third respectively. Night of athletics, and what an evening it was for several athletes in this 5th edition of the competition, as we saw a host of national records and personal bests. We kick off our coverage from the Night of Athletics with the women's 100 metres. A classy lineup saw homegirl Kim Heffert as a firm favourite. The European champion was here to follow up her victory in Liège. Her main challengers for the top spot were the two Americans, Melissa Barber and Carmelita Yeto.
Very cleanly, and Havert not getting the best of starts, but now she starts to come through in lane 4. Havert, Melissa Barber is giving her a tough race, but Barber's going, and Havert takes that.
Excellent first event here in Heusden-Zelde. Barber was a better starter. Havert, however, came through in fluent motion, and with Yetter on her shoulder, Havert had to move into a higher gear and cross the line triumphantly in a wind-assisted 11.04. Yetter was second in 11.05, Barber third in 11.11. Alan Webb has really showed the world of athletics that he is one of the best middle distance runners in the world and that he will be a major contender for medals in Osaka. The American has the world's fastest time in the 1500 metres, and here in Belgium the American took on the two-lap race, a pursuit that turned out to be a clash between Webb and 800-metre specialist Gary Reid of Canada.
Inside 50 seconds at the bell, and Webb still looking good on that back straight. He's got Reid behind him. And now it's all down to Webb and Gary Reid chasing him. And Reid is a two-lap specialist. Now, what's Webb got left? Gary Reid is no slouch. Webb looking strong, using that strength he's got as a miler. But he's coming under pressure. Reed looking good in the home straight. Webb's got to fight and fight to hang on to second place. He's under pressure from another of the Americans, Jonathan Johnson, but Johnson's fading. And Webb coming through to take it. Whoa! Another personal best for Alan Webb. 1:43.85, and that's a fighter.
Yes, what a fighter Alan Webb is. On a night with ideal weather conditions, Nashahon Ruto set a perfect pace race. The Kenyan passed a 400-metre mark in 49.72. When Ruto dropped off, Webb and Reed accelerated. Accustomed to seeing that this season, the American kept on going all the way to the finish line and was clocked with the second fastest time this season, 1 minute 43.84, leaving the Canadian in second, 1:44.07 his time, and a season's best. Nabil Mahdi from Algeria took third place with a personal best of 1:44.54.
South Africa has provided many great sportsmen and women throughout the years, but the question is if the man they call Blade Runner isn't the cream of the crop. 20-year-old Paralympic sprinter Oscar Pistorius has been in the news lately as he attempts to establish himself in the world of non-handicapped athletes, but he has already had a meteoric rise within the realms of Paralympic sport. Oscar was born in Pretoria on November 22, 1986, but due to a congenital condition he arrived with no fibulae in both legs. At just 11 months old, he had both legs amputated halfway between the knee and ankle, but this never stopped the young boy from developing a passionate sport interest. During his school years, he participated in rugby, water polo, wrestling, and tennis. It was after a serious knee injury whilst playing rugby that he eventually turned to athletics in January 2004. Pistorius' first major competition was the 2004 Summer Paralympics in Athens. He came third overall in the T44 100-meter event, which includes single amputees. Despite falling in the preliminary round for the 200 meters, he qualified for the final and went on to win in a world record time of 21.97 seconds. He currently holds world records over 100, 200 and 400 meters, but his next challenge may be the biggest of his young life as he attempts to qualify for the regular Olympic Games in Beijing, where he hopes to rub shoulders with the likes of Jeremy Warner and company. A first step on that path was his recent race in Sheffield, where he finished in last place, but the ever-optimistic youngster will no doubt be back. As he says, "You are not disabled by the disabilities you have, you are able by the abilities you have."
Australia's Tamsyn Lewis ran a sub-2-minute race in Madrid, and the lady from Down Under was the clear favourite for the women's 800 metres here in Liège.
Coming into the final bend, it's Tamsyn Lewis of Australia in the lead. Erin Donahue of USA in second, but she's looking very strong here. The girl from Down Under, Tamsyn Lewis, into the final 100 metres. Donahue coming from behind. I don't think she can threaten Tamsyn Lewis here in the women's 800 metres. No, she doesn't. It's Lewis who takes it in 1:59.71. And Erin Donahue of the USA finished second.
Once again, the Aussie girl broke the tape below 2 minutes as she won the race in 1 minute 59.70, well ahead of the American pair Erin Donahue and Nicole Cook, who finished second and third respectively, 2.0170 and a personal best for Donahue and 2.0278 for her compatriots. The women's two-lapper was billed as a clash between former world and Olympic champion Maria Matola and Morocco's reigning world and Olympic silver medalist Hasna Benhassi.
Hazel Clark, not to be overlooked, runner in this year's American Championships, just ahead of Alice Schmidt. So, there's the menu. Let's see what it tastes like. Matola has so often been the athlete to dominate throughout the race. Here comes Matola, so often before, on the bend. And Matola into the home straight. Alice Schmidt, Clark, and Hassi, the Olympic silver medalist from Morocco, giving chase, but it's going to be too late. Matola with that characteristic stride and for the line, and oh, that is a fast time.
After a cautious first lap, the Maputo Express gave no option to her rivals and delivered a lethal final kick over the last 110 metres to take victory in 1 minute 58.80. Then Hassiu made up a come-from-behind race, took second place in a season's best 1:59.47. Australia's Tamsyn Lewis also dipped under 2 minutes with a 1:59.80 clocking to her credit.